Are you a professional pillow fighter? Or a 9-to-5 low-cost time travel agent? Or maybe real estate sales on Mars is your profession? It doesn't matter. Whatever it is you do, however complex or intricate, Monday.com can help you organize, orchestrate, and make it more efficient. Monday.com is the one centralized platform for everything work-related. And with Monday.com, work is just easier. Monday.com, for whatever you run. Go to Monday.com to learn more.
Well, I don't see the point in waiting any longer. So let's bring her out. The star attraction, the one you came to see. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Miss Judy Gold.
In like 1995, in 1994, I actually went to America for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so crazy because I was in the middle of having literally a nervous breakdown.
Yes.
I was mad, and it was an incredible sort of like, you take someone out of a terrible situation, you fly them across, and on the way to get the first time I'd ever been on a transatlantic flight, the first time I'd ever been in first class, I was.
What? And you were coming for?
I was coming to do. I'd voiced the horse in Black Beauty. Beauty. I was Beauty. And I'd done it in London, and then it was coming out. And nowadays, they're about to lock the picture, and there were some rewrites. Nowadays, you'd go into a studio in London, or you could even probably do it on your phone, and put it down the line, HDM, what do you call it, HD, whatever, something like that. And in those days, they had to like fly you to Hollywood and do it in the studio with them. So I did that, and I got on the plane. And do you know who Ruby Wax is?
Yeah.
Wait,
hold on.
She's Jewish.
I know. That's what I'm trying to get to. Okay, sorry.
So she's this American comedian and writer, but she's really famous in Britain. And she used to have her own talk show and everything like that. So I got on the plane, and there she was going on the same flight to LA, but she was, because she was doing a show for the BBC, she was up the back in coach.
Oh,
she was like, where are you going? What's going on? And I said, I'm the voice of this horse, and so I'm getting into going in first class. And she was going to do an interview with Tammy Faye Baker.
Oh my God!
For her talk show.
Yeah.
And I remember when I saw the actual show that she did. She got Tammy. She and Tammy Faye were standing in her bath, singing "If God makes you, God gives you a lemon, make some lemonade."
No way.
She got her to do that. So anyway,
no wonder she was sitting in coach.
I know, right? No, because it's the BBC. They don't let you go first class. Fair enough. But anyway, so I'm in the first class. Eating away, drinking. Oh, delicious. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, the ice flows. We're flying very low. I didn't know they did that. And then we get an announcement saying there's been someone on the plane who has taken ill, and we're doing an emergency landing in Reykjavik in Iceland.
Oh, wow.
Like, holy shit. And so we get off the plane, and there's this man, a gurney comes on, and this man, the strapped to gurney, gets taken off the plane.
Was he Jewish?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, you do it. You can do it.
He actually was.
He was?
Yes, I think he was. Yes.
Because only Jews get like sick on planes and then have to fucking, stop and ruin everyone's day. Yeah.
And Ruby was like, I said, what happened? She goes, well, you may be in first class, but I got Polaroids of the stiff. And she took Polaroids of the man being taken off. And she
was
also
dead?
Wait.
Okay,
don't
sorry.
preempt the story. No, but it's fine. But
okay.
And then she took Polaroids of people sleeping and everything like this and everything.
Yeah.
So then we're in Reykjavik airport, just mucking about. Mm-hmm. And I remember she and our film crew started filming us. And there was a thing, it was a plinth that had fossilized seagull poop on it as a souvenir of Reykjavik.
Seagull shit?
Yes.
Yeah.
So then we.
Is that like a...
I don't know.
You're supposed to eat it? What are you supposed to do with it?
An ornament, it's like a
nice.
fossil. Anyway, then we got on the plane and we went to Maine, Portland, Maine. And then, because then we're going to, and then they said, but the pilots and everything have gone too long. We can't fly to LA now because they took the man off we thought was dead.
Yeah.
And then they said, so we've got to stay the night in Maine. I was like, oh my God, I've got to be in the studio in Hollywood tomorrow, and the picture locks on Friday. And what am I going to do? It's before cell phones and everything. Mm-hmm. And because I was so worried, I got on the wrong bus that took you to the hotel. And I was with Ruby's crew, so I went to like the economy class hotel, and Ruby miraculously got on my bus and went to my swanky hotel.
No way. Fuck you, Ruby.
And then I went out with the crew, and I came back, and I was like, we were in this skanky little hotel. And I went, "Are there any messages for me?" And they were like, "No." And then I thought, what am I going to do? I thought, well, I'll just have to wait here and go on the plane tomorrow and blah blah. Then all of a sudden, the phone rang in my room. And they went, "Alan, hi, it's blah blah from Warner Brothers. I hear you've had a little bit of trouble." I was like, yes, the plane crashed, not crash landed, but emergency landed in Reykjavik, and a man had to get off, and he wasn't. I said, "I'm getting on a plane tomorrow. I'm coming tomorrow. They're going to put us on a plane." He went, "Do not get on that plane. Look out of your window. There's a car waiting outside."
No way!
Waiting outside, like a spy film. So I got on the car, got on the plane, and went to LA that night, and then the next day
Maine.
From Maine. Hollywood.
Wait.
And then
you got in a car.
Not a car. I got in a car to the airport. But
you went on another flight. Were you on first?
Of course. But it was. There's
a lot of Jews in first class. Yeah.
And then what happened was, long time later, I'm on Ruby's show.
Yeah.
With Martin Sherman, the writer who wrote Bent, about Jewish people in the concentration camp. I mean, gay people.
That never happened.
Gay people in the concentration camp. And Olympia Dukakis.
No, she's Greek.
Oh.
But she plays a Jew a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do that. Okay.
and I hadn't seen Ruby for all this time. And she told me that when she went home after interviewing Tammy Faye Baker, she was having dinner with her husband and his father.
Is he Jewish?
Yes.
And the father?
Yes.
Okay.
And I was like, "Oh, what are you doing catching up?" And he said, "Oh, terrible. My friend Johnny was some terrible time recently." And she goes, "Oh, what happened?" She goes, "Well, he was on some new pills from the doctor for his heart. He was on a plane going to America, had a glass of wine. The next thing you know, he wakes up in a hospital in Reykjavik, and it was her father-in-law's best friend."
That is unbelievable.
Crazy.
Wow.
Showbiz.
That's how you knew he was a Jew. Okay. That's amazing.
So that was my first time of coming to America. It was filled with torpor.
Right. You get to Hollywood. Are you like gobsmacked? Like, what do you because you go to LA or Hollywood for the first time, you see the sign, you see, what was...
Well, that time I wasn't really... I mean, the next time I went, I was like that because I was going with a film that was... I was there to do press for a film. But when I went to do the thing for Black Beauty, I was just in such a state. And and my friend Caroline, who wrote that, who directed the film, she had a little party for me because Eleanor Braun, who's this amazing Jewish actress, was there doing another film, and she'd played my mum when I did Hamlet. Mm-hmm. And so we had this little dinner, and that was really lovely. But I was in such a state of nervous breakdown that it was actually a really good thing for me to be removed from my life for like 3 or 4 days. But at the time, I sat in my hotel room and just tried to keep it together.
Yeah.
But then, like a year later, I did this movie called Circle of Friends, an Irish film, and when it opened in America, I came to do the press junket and the premiere, and that was like, I was my first entree to Hollywood for real was like coming to promote a movie that I was in. And I remember on the red carpet at the premiere, I didn't know anything about all the different channels, and this lady said, did the interview, and she went, "Now, Alan, could you look down the lens and say, I'm Alan Cumming and I'm on E?" And for me, that meant I was on ecstasy.
Oh, God.
And I remember thinking, I can't say that. Why would I say that? And I remember I said to her, my mum might see this. And I didn't even know that E was a channel.
When you got like all these agents and Hollywood people representing you, did you trust that? Like, you seem so not naive and yet so... so innocent. You give off this innocence, and yet you're so fucking smart.
I'm sassy, but I think
yes, that is true.
I think what I did was like the first agent I got was recommended to me by my London agents.
Okay,
And it's this woman called Tracy Brennan, and she's been my agent ever since. So she's my main agent at CAA, and I've
amazing.
Millions of other ones now, of
Yeah.
course. But she's my main agent, and so I really, felt like when you meet a good person, and then you've always got them to sort of
Right.
like my brother or something, or my mum, like you've
Yeah.
got people in your life that you just know are good,
Right.
And then and I've had some tossers over the
Right.
years, obviously, but I think that's the thing that if you feel someone's got your back, then you can be a little sort of floaty,
Right.
sort of flitty,
And you feel safe,
and you feel safe, and
Yeah.
I still do. And also now I'm older and more I guess more powerful in that way. I just don't. If there's assholes I get rid of them.
Right.
Just if there's people on my team, even I actually fired. I've done this a couple of times. I'm with CAA. It's this big agency, and I sometimes thought I don't want that person on my team, so I fire them. But I still stay in the agency.
How do you fire them?
I say I sort of talk to Tracy about it and say that.
Oh, so you get her, you go say, I can't work with this person, or yeah.
Or I have managers now too. So, but there was someone I thought was an asshole and was just kind of, it lost me a lot of money actually in this thing that was a misunderstanding. I just thought it was terrible the way he'd
Right.
and I fired him, and I discovered he was the head of television at CAA. I thought,
him.
fuck you, I don't want you in my team. I just think I don't want bad energy around me in any way.
Right.
Even here at Club Cumming, I think it's really important to me that everyone feels that there's kindness here and everyone.
Oh my God, this place is
Yeah.
it's magic. I'm not kidding.
So if there's either people who are customers, if they're assholes, we ask them to leave.
Yeah.
Or if there's staff who are assholes, we ask them, we fire them.
Right.
I just think, there's no need for
Positive.
Yeah, positive, and kindness.
You were married. You're one of the only people I know who has been legally married to a woman and legally married to a man.
Yes. And I thought it was funny. I thought me and Cynthia Nixon were the same, but she wasn't actually married to her.
Oh, she wasn't. And you know what? My kids went to Hebrew school with her kids. Oh, right. Oh, shit, this fucking thing. I hate it. Go. You're bisexual, which, and I just love, I know.
What does that mean?
What is that? You're bisexual and unabashedly bisexual. You're married to a woman. Were you satisfied in that relationship? Did you, what was it, 8 years or 8 years?
Something like that,
yeah. Was it a natural, you fell in love and the relationship ran its course?
Yeah, it was a little more complicated than that, but I always thought I was bisexual, but she knew that I was bisexual, and then I'd had a boyfriend sort of at college before that, and then I fell in love with her, and we got married, and I genuinely thought that was
so. At your wedding, were you like, "Oh my God, I love her. This is the right thing to do"?
Yes,
you are
totally.
I always ask my friends who were gay who had been married if they knew when they were walking down the aisle.
No, not at all.
No, so you just
yeah. And then even after that failed, I then had another relationship.
I don't
with a
think
woman.
that's a failure.
Well, no, I don't either.
Yeah.
But in a funny sort of way, one of the bad things about seeing my, parents' marriage, I really, 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 really wanted my marriage to succeed.
Right.
Just to prove to
that
the
it
world
could work.
that it could be. And
yeah.
so I probably stuck at it longer than.
Were you? So in your late 20s, you had a nervous breakdown.
Correct.
Which was sort of this perfect storm culmination of all the shit you had been through.
Yeah.
Just because coming to a head.
I really hadn't remembered so much.
Right.
Put my glasses on now because.
Oh, you look hot. And fucking smart. Doesn't he look smart?
Dirty.
Yeah.
They're so dirty.
I hate dirty glasses. You're not supposed to do it on your shirt.
You're not.
No, you're supposed to use a little.
I don't have my thing. Yeah, you're supposed to be on the face or in the case.
On the face or in the case.
That's
right.
what my optician says.
So you have this nervous breakdown, but it was sort of like, I guess, this part of your life that you had to go through to move forward.
The nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was actually. I sort of think about the way I describe it. It's like when you have. It's like a box in your attic with all the things you put there where you don't really want or want to look at or want to deal with. And eventually you have to, otherwise the box explodes.
Right.
And you're, and that's what happened to me. I guess so many things that happened to me when I was little, I couldn't deal with. It was too much for me to process and comprehend. So I just pretended they hadn't happened or ignored them. It's a common thing. I think people who have trauma, you just look away and you don't deal with it. And
well, you have all these coping mechanisms, and then finally they don't work anymore.
And then eventually, I think as an adult, you're starting to think, why am I feeling this way?
Right.
Because your mind and your body is sort of saying, we need to deal with this.
How did that change you, that nervous breakdown?
Well, hugely. I mean, massively. My entire life changed in a very relatively short time. My entire life changed. My marriage broke up. That was huge. And I also was kind of, and right at that time, other things happened in my career. So I was now going to different countries.
I mean, it's amazing. You're having this great career, and yet you're going crazy, sort of. Yeah.
And you know what's funny? On the day, so one of the things that happened around that time was I did this James Bond film, and called GoldenEye, and I on the day that I auditioned for, I remember being just in such a state of emotional and mental, meltdown. And my agent said, and they knew. And they said, you've got this big audition. It's for this James Bond film. You've got to go here on this day. Are you going to be able to do it? I was like, yes. And so I went in. I was like, blah, 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 charming.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. Fucking nailed it.
Right.
And ultimately got the job. And then I lost 5 hours after that. I came out of it and I was so drained by having put on such a show of being normal or, I hadn't done many auditions for a while because I sort of took some time off to get well. And then I went and I was just so exhausted, and I just was wandering around London, and literally 5 hours later I got home and I don't remember where I went, what I did.
Right.
It's so fascinating to me that your body can do those things.
Just stop.
But you have to stop afterwards. Yeah. So there was a lot of stuff like that, and then a really great thing that one of the things I'm most proud of is a sitcom I wrote with my friend about flight attendants in a terrible Scottish airline called The High Life. And we'd written that beforehand, but we had to shoot, the first job I did when I went back to work after having a breakdown was this sitcom about flight attendants. And I had the best, it was one of the greatest things to go back and do.
How long did it take you to feel normal, quote unquote, again?
I don't know if I've ever felt normal after that. I think I think if you've had mental illness, that you.
I have to. No, but I've had a nervous breakdown as well, and and it's like you live with the fear that it's going to happen again.
And I feel in a way, that's a gift. That I feel I could easily go. Do you know what I mean? I feel there's certain times when I get you better watch out. You better make some changes, get rid of these people, give yourself some space, have a digital fast.
Right.
I think it could easily happen. Not easily, but it's I feel like life's like a kind of quivering tightrope.
Yeah.
And hopefully everyone just goes over to the other side. But, you could drop off at any minute.
Yeah.
We all could. We see it. We see it with friends and we see it. And I feel, and I can see, and now having gone through it myself and being older, I see signs of it in some of my friends at certain points. And I've got, the red flags go up for me. But also, luckily, red flags go up for myself.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing about it.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
So your marriage breaks up. You have, but you have other relationships. You have other successful relationships.
I actually had 2 times. I've had really 2 terrible relationships in my life, or 2 relationships that ended really badly. And luckily, immediately after both of them, I've had the most beautiful sort of, relationships with 2 people who I just felt like I was reminded that there are good people,
Right.
and that I'm okay, and I'm lovable, and life can be nice, and both those people are very, very close to me now in my life.
How did you meet Grant?
I met him because I met him in New York in 2000, and he's my husband, and but I didn't start going out with him until 2004. Because I met him.
Wow. I love that.
Yeah, I met him because I was shagging.
Because his penis was on the pictures of. No, I'm kidding.
No, I met him because I was shagging his best friend.
Really?
Yes, and so I was shagging his best friend briefly
Right.
on a sort of a what do you call it when you've just split up with someone and you have a
Oh, it's a rebound.
yeah.
A rebound. Yeah.
And so I met him. I was sort of brought to the best friend's, who's also called Grant actually, to the best friend's house.
Really?
Yeah.
Who has two friends named Grant that are
Me.
friends with each other?
I do. And
Grant and Grant?
Other Grant. When Grant and I got married in New York,
Yeah.
the second time when you could get married in America,
Right.
First Grant, married us.
No way.
Yes.
What does Grant one do?
He's an artist too, and
okay.
does stuff.
So you met Grant.
So I met Grant, and then first Grant and I were, sort of didn't last very long. We were just sort
Right.
of an affair, and then we became friends. And so over the next couple of years, I was with someone else. But I would see my Grant at parties when I would invite first Grant, and he says at one time we were at this party, and I flirted with him a couple of times.
Grant
And
too? Yeah.
And one time I was chatting to him, my Grant, and I had a martini. And this was at this party at the place where Martha Stewart's company is. So I always remember Martha was integral to our
Right.
relationship. And I had a martini, and it kind of, someone banged into me, and it sort of slopped onto my arm, and so I licked my arm
Yeah.
in a provocative manner. And he's always said that he said he said in his head, he didn't say it, he goes, "You're flirting with me, Alan Cumming."
Wow.
And I was. And then this weird thing happened where I broke up with someone who was really bad for me, really terrible, another bad person.
Right.
And that night, shortly after I broke up, I went out to sort of drown my sorrows about breaking up with this bad person with my ex-girlfriend, the one who I went out with after my wife, who's
Right.
now married to a woman.
Really?
She's now a
Is that
Saffron.
You were married to Hillary.
Yeah.
Saffron Burrows.
Yeah, she's an actress.
Yeah.
So Saffron was in town, so I went out with her to drown my sorrows. I ran into another person I'd had a relationship with called Raven, who I used to have tattooed on my body. And
No way.
Yes. And right at that moment when I saw Raven, I said, "Can I have an American Spirit Yellow?" And I immediately started smoking again. And then later that night, I ran into Grant, and I had a one-night stand with him.
Wow.
Yes.
That's Grant too.
My Grant now.
Yeah.
And then we never talked about it for a year and a half. We saw each other a few times, never talked about it. And then we had this really amazing moment in Barracuda. Have you ever been to Barracuda, the bar on 22nd Street?
I have no life. I go out and do stand-up every fucking night, and I never go out. Yeah, so I've heard of Barracuda, yeah.
So it's a little gay bar in Chelsea.
Yeah.
Such fun. And I was with my then boyfriend Rob, who's one of the nice ones. Saffron and Rob are the two people that kind of made me feel life was beautiful again. And I was with him, and I saw Grant, and we both went, "Remember that night we had together?" "Yeah, I can't talk about it right now. I'm with my now boyfriend."
Right.
And then the following summer when I came back, I had so Grant number one had a place upstate, and I went there after 9/11, and that's why I have now my house in the Catskills, because I went with him, and there was some land.
Wait, Catskills. Shit. Fuck this fucking thing. I hate
Got to
this.
make it
I'm
go
not
out.
entering passcode.
There you
Okay.
go.
Oh,
shit.
fuck. Okay, Catskills, yeah.
Maybe that's his
Fuck this piece of shit.
Anyway,
Fuck.
There you go.
Okay, thank you.
And so I was having a housewarming for my new place that I'd built, and Grant down the hill, number one, was we're having a 4th of July thing. So we had a joint 4th of July housewarming party. And I said, "Who are you bringing? Who have you invited?" And he said, "Grant, my Grant."
Grant too.
And I felt a
Ping.
funny feeling in my tummy.
You felt a...
Yes.
Yes.
And then so that's when we got together.
Now, cabaret.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of that show. You've done it twice.
Actually, I've done
3
it.
times.
I've actually done it 4 times.
Okay, you've done it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Because once I played Cliff in repertory in Scotland
okay.
in 1922.
Great, Judy. You've done it at 2 very different times of your life.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
I did the MC 3 times.
yeah. Like, you're so fucking great at that. I mean, that character is so sexual, and it's so, I guess, sexually fluid.
Yes.
Would you agree?
Yes, I would.
The first time you did it, you hadn't come out, correct? You...
Well, I was still married then.
Yes, you were married to a woman, and yet people questioned. And I read that you actually came out so you could beat the British press, and also, sort of protect Grant and his family and your family.
No, it wasn't Grant's family. No, it was long before Grant's.
Fuck you, Judy. Okay.
Yeah, no. Now, what happened was...
Stupid. Okay.
No, it's an interesting thing, though, about...
The British press is evil,
Fucking
correct?
awful. I mean, literally, I've had people go through my
Right.
trash.
Right.
Literally go through my trash.
Right.
Go to my neighbours, go to my mum. It's called door stopping, when they try to push the door open to me.
No way.
My ex-wife, my ex-girl. I mean, like...
What is wrong with them?
I don't know. Rupert Murdoch, I think, is probably
He's
the
a
biggest thing.
fucking asshole.
But it's an interesting thing. Like if you've always thought of yourself as bisexual and you're la la la, and then you become famous and you're in a relationship with someone and then all of a sudden, I mean, really for me, when I started to have a relationship with a man was the time, and I realized what could happen press wise. And the way that things were going and everyone's talking, that's when I thought, well, I want to take control of it and talk about it how I feel about it. And
on your terms.
On my terms, and also not to make sure that he or his family didn't get affected, and my family too, adversely. So but it's an interesting thing, like when I sort of, when I was sort of single and kind of, mingling around that time in my life, I sort of thought, well, should I do a press release? I fucked a couple of boys this weekend. What am I going to do?
I know, it's ridiculous.
Yes. But that was what people were asking of me. And I was like, well, I'm not quite sure what you want me to say.
Right.
But it was an interesting time as well, because in America at that time, it was just after the Clinton scandal. And so everyone was so prurient and everyone was like obsessed with sex. Obsessed with sex.
It's so interesting that whole impeachment was about, like, Kenneth Starr, obsessed with the sex.
Obsessed.
Sex. And this guy is a fucking criminal. Liar. And he's still there. And, like, I would rather be talking about a blowjob between consenting adults than this, what he's doing.
And all the terrible things that are happening. And all the hatred is what...
Yeah.
Because it's just, like, what I feel like, hopefully he's going to go soon. But actually, what his legacy will be for generations. We're going to have to try and educate people not to be hateful.
Right. He's a disgusting.
He's such a fucking pig. Yeah. Anyway,
you endorsed. You're very political. Okay. You've said something about marriage. You said marriage is a failed institution. Which it really is. Over 50% of people get divorced, and yet gay people want to get married, but it doesn't have to be in that sort of
old structure.
Yes, that structure.
So I think actually what's really interesting about marriage now, I think, and what I think is a beautiful gift that gay people can maybe give to straight people, is to show that you can have a marriage that is a true marriage of two people who want to commit to each other and love each other and make a life together, that all those things are not predestined and dependent on you not having sex with another person.
Right.
And that's why I think same-sex marriages have got it
way better.
Better. So I just think there's many more. I've always thought there's many more ways you can betray someone than having sex with someone else.
Yeah.
And I think that in same-sex coupling, it is much more prevalent for there to be sexual relations outside of that couple,
Right.
and maybe perhaps with another. Seriously.
She's out of her fucking mind. Yeah.
And also, like, maybe within the coupling.
Right.
And I think that's something that is, if you stop having sex as the deal breaker for a relationship, I think you have a much richer relationship.
Yeah. You so you were the MC, and then you met Liza.
Actually, yes, I did. That's right. I met Liza when I was it just opened on Broadway, and I met her.
Right. And she came to your room, your dressing room.
Yeah.
Tiny dressing room.
Yeah.
And she was smelling your
In my towel.
yeah.
No, what happened was, so she came in with Fred Ebb, you know.
Now, and this is the first time. Yeah, duh.
I've never
Wait.
met her.
Okay, hold on. Fuck this phone. Okay. Fred Ebb, Candor and Ebb. Okay.
So she came in with Fred, and so Tash, so you know, Natasha Richardson, you had to do this thing on Broadway which I didn't understand. That if a star comes that is connected with the show, you've got to invite them on the stage.
Right. Oh, really?
Like both Liza, I guess it's with cabaret, I suppose
Right.
it's more pertinent, but both Liza and when Joel Grey came, we had to invite them on the stage.
Right.
And I had to say a thing about, Joel Grey and everything, and she had to do a thing about Liza, and so Liza came on, and then she came to our dressing rooms afterwards, and she came into
Were you freaking out?
freaking out. Can you imagine?
Right.
And also, I got so nervous all the night during the performance because Tasha Richardson would
Yeah.
say, "So Liza's going to come up on the stage." I'm like, "What?" I didn't know you did that. She goes, "Yes, you've got to invite her. It's what they do here."
Right.
And then she goes, "So I'm going to invite her up." And I go, "Okay." And she goes, "And if she goes on too long, you've got to get her off." I was like, "Me? What do you mean? What's she going to do?" So I was terrified. And then she was upstairs with Tasha, and she came down to my room with Fred. And yes,
Sorry.
and the first thing she ever said to me was, "Alan, I want to be your friend forever."
No. Are you friends?
Yes, yes, we are. Then Fred came in, and it was so difficult to talk to him. And I realised that Liza
Because the room is tiny.
so
yeah.
small, and there's a sort of a little hooks with some towels on it, and like Liza's pushed into my towel like this. And I went, "Oh my God, Liza, you're practically sniffing my towels here." So it's such a tiny room. I'm so sorry because I was hugging Fred.
Right.
She got pushed out the way. And she went, "Alan, I would sniff your towels any day."
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you? And you're really close. Like,
Yeah, I
could you
talked to-
call her right now?
I could, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, obviously.
No, I know, but I just-
No, but I actually text her pictures of my dog and what I'm doing and stuff quite a lot because she lives in LA now. And she's not, she's not in great health.
Right.
But she loves my dog Lala.
Right.
Once when I was making a film in LA a few years ago, and I used to take Lala to visit her, and she has these dogs, and her dogs. She was when I go to see her, we usually sit on the bed and watch Turner Classic Movies and just chat.
Oh, I love that.
And like, so Lala was running around being chased by her dogs. And at one point they were all like doing that kind of thing where they're about
Yeah.
to go, they're about to go and running.
Yeah.
And Liza went, "Go, Liza, go." I mean, Lala.
Go, Lala, go.
Yeah, and it was so cute. It was almost like she wanted to be Lala being chased by the boys.
I love her.
So charming.
This week's episode of It's Judy's Show with Judy Gold is sponsored by BetterHelp. And if you know me, which I think you do because you're listening to my podcast right now, you know that I am a big advocate for therapy. I think it benefits everyone. I think there's so many people who need it, who don't partake. It is so important for your emotional health and well-being. Therapy is fantastic. It is in every stretch of the imagination. And if you're thinking of starting therapy, please do it. But please give BetterHelp a try. It is entirely online. It's designed to be convenient. It's flexible. It suits your schedule. You fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. I have switched therapists in my life. I've had many, many therapists, and sometimes it's not a great fit for you, but don't give up. Therapy is beneficial. You can learn about yourself, you can process, and just be emotionally healthy. I'm telling you, do it. BetterHelp is great because, when I used to schlep to my therapist's office, it was so annoying. You have to do it, and you sit there and you wait, and then I'm telling you, doing it online is fantastic. And BetterHelp is amazing. I know a lot of people who've used it. So if you're thinking about therapy, go to BetterHelp.com. Let the gratitude flow. This is Gratitude Month, people. So you need to let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/Judy Gold, JudyGold, today, and you will get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Judy Gold. You're welcome. You are such an advocate for equality, for LGBTQ or STV, XYZ rights. You were you endorsed Sanders in the 2016 election.
I did, yes.
And what do you? I mean, look, I don't know what the fuck is going on in this country. Who are you gonna endorse? I had a fucking tequila and I can't even fucking say a sentence. Who are you going to endorse for?
Well, it's so interesting because, when it
Wait, can I just say how sad it is? Like, it's sad. What's going on? What the fuck is going on?
I mean, seriously, I think in this country right now that, members of Congress stormed yesterday.
Oh my God.
A secret, a classified hearing, breaking the law.
They're like
nobody goes in and they should
yeah.
be fucking arrested.
Yeah.
The subpoenas are being ignored. It's lawlessness. It's happening at the highest level of things. Like Trump is, as his message and his ethos is making people behave and all this. And I think, I'm exhausted.
It is exhausting.
And I feel like in this country now, everyone is just shouting at each other. Everyone's shouting.
And everyone's in a bad mood. Everyone's irritable. Like when I started reading your book, I said, I'm not gonna watch Rachel. I'm not gonna do any. I'm gonna when
Rachel
I go home. No, Rachel Maddow.
Oh, Maddow. Okay,
but she's not Jewish, but she should be. But I was like, I'm gonna go home and read. And I woke up better. It's like this psycho.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
This culture of just, I mean, you feel every morning I get up and I look at my phone and think, what bad things happened?
Yeah, what did he do? What did a fucking asshole do now?
But I think the worst thing to me is that, we're all shouting at each other. Nobody's listening.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever going to change their mind when you shout at them.
Right.
And so we've got to just try and be kinder. I know that sounds sort of Oprah-ish, but
hashtag grateful.
Actually,
have you met Oprah?
Yes. But actually, you've got to...
Are you friends with her? Do you have her phone number in your... Do you have her phone number?
I have her email.
Wow! Is it a good email?
I can't tell you.
I know, but I just...
But
all right.
it is really good.
Is it creative?
Yes.
All right, good. I love Gail.
Love Gail.
No, that's her email. I love Gail at gmail.com. Sorry.
But
yeah,
I do really feel like, for me, the biggest villains in this situation are the Republicans who are not doing anything, who are
and
turning
they're horrible.
Yeah. And they're like just allowing this to happen. And hopefully they will be the ones for generations who will be paying the price for this, because they have allowed this to happen. We've marched and we've done all these things and we fight and we just tweet and we do all this stuff. But actually, they have the power and they have chosen to turn their backs on decency to allow this bigot to triumph.
Oh, he's disgusting.
And I just think when is going to come the point where they're all going to go, oh my gosh, look, he's such a terrible bigoted.
Oh my God, they know already, don't you think?
Of course they do.
So who do you want?
Here's what I think. I love Bernie, but age.
Fuck shit. Okay.
Can I do some work? Because I do love him.
Yeah.
I'm going to say
Isn't
something.
it fun?
That's not so nice about him. I just don't think a man that age who's had a heart attack should be the president.
Right.
I think ageism is a problem, but age is an issue for the president of the United States of America. Look at the one we've got now. He's fucking old and lost it. I mean,
He's
aside from all his bigoted views, part of his problem is he is obviously an old man displaying dementia or losing his mental faculties.
Does he remind you of your father? Because he's
some
so
ways he does.
abusive and narcissistic. Yeah,
like not the losing the faculties, but just the sort of the lack of empathy for anything, and the bullying, and the absolute. And also, he's charismatic. Yeah, and my father was very charismatic. Yeah. So yes, there is a thing there, but I sort of think I want it to be. I would like it to be Elizabeth Warren for president of the United States of America.
Yes.
Is she Jewish?
No, but I just wanted her. Okay.
And I think someone like, I don't think I love Kamala Harris, but I don't think she should be. I think I've been big on Pete Buttigieg. I've supported him. I've been big on a few of them. But I think seriously, the way to win radically, is Elizabeth Warren and Cory Booker.
Yes! I love that.
He's not a Jew.
No, but he's from Newark, and I was born in Beth Israel.
You know what?
Hospital
I just did a TV series with Rosario Dawson, and so she'd be FaceTiming in the mornings on makeup. Yeah. I'd be like, "Hi, Cory, how are you?" And I remember saying, I had a very
I do that too.
I said, like, God, it must be so like running for president of the United States. You must get so many air miles.
He's hot. But I have two last questions.
Right. I'll try and keep them brief.
Well, I ask all my guests this two questions. I'm very into mental health. And anything like therapy, I'm very, So are you on any antidepressants?
No.
Really? Have you ever?
No.
Shit. I gained so much weight on Paxil. I can't even. Never.
I've never been.
And you went through a fucking mental breakdown and didn't go on. God bless you.
Actually, nobody offered,
I know.
Nobody offered me them either. Actually, I think maybe, what's that one called? And it was that novel. What's it called? Prozac. Yes.
Prozac, yeah.
Prozac was mentioned, and I just was like, no.
Right.
Yes, I've never been on antidepressants.
Wow. My final question. Now, I am a cockeyed optimist, even though everyone thinks I'm the most negative human being.
I don't think that about you at all.
Oh, really?
I think you're an incredibly optimistic person.
Oh, I love you so much. I mean, I wouldn't do what I do if I didn't think positive. All right. But I am angry. I get so annoyed at people because I'm like, you're dumb. You're like, don't look at your phone on the way up the fucking stairs in the subway. Like, don't do it. Like, I'm going somewhere and you're like, I can't. People and incompetence and just dumb. What makes you fucking angry? What makes you crazy? That's why we call it Kill Me Now, because I feel like I say Kill Me Now all the time. But.
So, one of the things that makes me crazy is that American people call that long thing that's like a chair that's not quite a sofa, they call it a chaise lounge.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And it's a fucking chaise longue, people. It's a long chair. It's a chaise longue.
Chaise longue?
And they've spelled they've put the O and the U round and called it lounge because they think of the lounge chairs. It's chaise longue is the thing, and that drives me nuts. And also the way that American people pronounce croissant.
What? How do you say croissant?
Croissant.
Say it again.
Croissant.
Croissant.
Croissant. But like croissant.
I know, right?
No, I just want. So that's I think American people's bad pronunciation of French words drives me fucking nuts.
So chaise longue.
Notre Dame is on fire. I was like, fuck you people.
Yeah.
It's Notre Dame. Anyway, blah, blah.
Chaise longue.
It's a chaise longue, yeah.
I'm going to say that next time I go to like room and board or something.
It's not a lounge chair.
So if I went in and said, I'm looking for a chaise longue.
Depends where you were. If you're in New Jersey, they'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Or if you're in America, they'd say, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But if it was my shop, I would say, I've got the very thing for you, madam.
Oh my my God, I love you. You are an angel from heaven. How do you want to be remembered? How do you want people to remember you?
You know, I'd love if Club Cumming was my legacy, because I feel like
Oh my God, I fucking love this
I really
place.
do feel like Club Cumming is my greatest artistic achievement. It's like something I wanted to have a feeling and a spirit, and like for people would come and they would be, you know, there would always be great shows. It's obviously a great hub of
Oh my God, it's the
artistic
best.
thing.
Yeah.
But also just the spirit of kindness that's here. That I think would be a lovely legacy. Just I'm the Cumming in Club Cumming.
And you spell it the right way.
Thank
actually.
you.
Yeah. I have loved you for so long, and this is such a dream come true. I want to cry right now. Such a dream come true to be able to talk to you this
Thank
evening.
you. It's actually lovely to spend much time
Oh
with
my
you,
God,
Judy.
I love
We always
you.
see each other at galas or whatever, or drinks
I
now
love
and then.
him.
Shall we sing Happy Birthday to Beth?
I don't. I was just thinking that. I think we kind of have to.
Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Beth.
Happy
Birthday to you. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you to Alan Cumming.
you, my love.
Beth Sussman, you are a fucking angel. Good night, everybody.
Good night,
and
thanks.
as we always say, so long!
And everything was wonderful. I'll see you soon. Thank you for the visit. So long.